Hello, and welcome to Shadow Patch Notes, the series where we take the latest patch and discuss all the hidden tweaks and changes that didn't quite make the spotlight. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stick around until the end of the video to see how you can win a Drake Vulture. Alright, let's jump right in. With the introduction of 3.18, we all know that tractor beams are now usable in Armistice zones. But what about the medical attachment? I'm happy to report that you can revive others in the Armistice zone using this tool as well. And that's not all. After a quick trip to Tammy & Sons, we discovered that both the salvage and repair functions of the multi-tool are also enabled in Armistice, with all the ships on the showroom floor of New Deal ripe for the stripping. You can even keep the RMC and repair the hulls as well. I hope to see plenty of messages left on this prospector during my next visit. And I'm sure many will be rushing the stores like it's Black Friday, thanks to the inventory wipe that has come along with the newest patch. 3.18.1 also introduces the new deliverable ship system, which lets you access your ships anywhere for the first summon, and lightens the initial load on servers for new patch days. The Arrowhead Sniper charge no longer has an extreme shake to it. Always nice to see any weapon buffs. You can drag items directly into your inventory from the overworld. No need to waste time picking them up first. Gun racks at shops look better, no more clipping items. Platinum-based stores now sell salvage attachments. Some improvements were made to the performance of racing ships in 3.18, most notably the P-72 Archimedes, which is now considered the best racing ship by many. Also, the Origin M50 received a huge mobility buff, bringing its atmospheric performance in line with other racers. A tweak was made to the amount of salvageable wrecks found at Lagrange points. They now spawn significantly less, although finding the salvage deposits are always better, and easier to do once you know how. Press Tab to send out a scan pulse, then press V to scan for clusters. Look for an RS signature divisible by 2000, 2000, 4000, 6000, etc. Avoid 17 and 34, as those will be asteroids. Medical bays on ships now provide a flight suit and helmet upon respawn. We also have these public enemy missions from security under personal. Now, if you know anything about Star Citizen, the personal tab is usually less than legitimate work, so pretty cool to see security doing some under the table stuff. The names in your friends list and global chat are now all alphabetized. Bedlog has been disabled in Armistice zones. It also appears you are unable to log out if your ship is floating near a landing zone, whether it be Armistice or not. For example, this here was the orphanage on Lyria. Certain armors allow you to place pistols and multi-tools on your chest. You can now buy the multi-tool with attachments as well. Here's a funny one. Turtles have been spotted around the verse once again. I've been seeing them around Area 18. So they may spawn more often in these back alleyways. And in other news, according to today's message from CIG, it looks like 3.18.1 is a critical issues fix for server-related problems, which will be closely followed by patch 3.18.2, which will be the real bug fixer. Interestingly enough, they say they want to get 3.19 into PTU shortly after that, so we may see that in time for Invictus. Who knows? We might see it a little early, dare I say. And then, looking ahead to 3.19, the new salvage missions are just around the corner, as shown in Inside Star Citizen.
So let's talk about salvage modules. The salvage module is currently a singular module, and what we have done is allowed for a bunch of functionality.
The most simple version is you get a contract in your Moby Glass given by a company that has salvage rights. You accept mission in a Moby Glass, and then it's going to give you a piece of salvage, and it says, well, we have a piece of salvage for you, and it's located at this Lagrange point.
The player is shown a location where a shipwreck can be found. So they make their way there, and it could be that another NPC is there salvaging already. Or you could have an illegal variant of the mission where you have to go there and salvage everything quickly before another player that has the contract legally shows up.
So this was really interesting, and they go on to explain how the new modular mission system will play into these salvage events.
But there's going to be a timer on screen of whenever the legal owner of that salvage is going to appear, which can end up in enemies arriving because he calls them in. We've made several submodules that allow to work with it. So the first one is spawn ship waves. So it's going to be a wave-based module that allows the designer to define what the waves are like exactly, and then they show up. And another module that we've been making that we're actually quite proud of is a chicken ship module. And that's a ship that shows up and then is either going to attack you or try to run away. And if you scare it off by either damaging it or taking too long, it's going to try and jump away. And if it does so, then it allows the designer to define what's going to happen then. So the most basic version would be he's going to call in his friends. They come in, and then all of a sudden it's not you and a vulture against another vulture. It's going to be you against a retaliator bomber and 4 arrows, and you're in trouble.
So these missions all look extremely fun. I'm especially excited for the illegal and the open contracts, which are going to breed a lot of PvP on top of the salvage. And it looks like Clovis at Hurston will be the first mission giver.
Still alive, I think.
Also, a new bombshell just dropped about 3.19. Tractor beams will now allow us to attach and detach both weapons and components from ships. This means the first iteration of physicalized components in Star Citizen.
Is soft dev or unlocked, you're gonna be able to, with a tractor beam, find all the good guns and modules like shield generators or life supports or whatever, detach them, put them on your ship, or put them in your cargo hold, and sell them later, or use them.
This also includes missiles as well. Stand by for infinite ammo ballistas at Jumptown.
But at least for missiles.
You can potentially find a ship that's soft dev or like fully destroyed that has the same time of missile, and you can grab those missiles, attach to your own ship, and use them like in the future fight.
In a multi-crew scenario, you can have a friend sitting around with their Cutlass Black full of missiles, and you just take it out of their backside and refill your ship.
With Pyro, obviously, it would be much more interesting because there's like a more limited shop supplies and all of that.
Well, color me surprised. It looks like 3.19 is actually going to be a pretty beefy patch. In case you guys didn't know, they recently cut down on the things they share in the roadmap. So that being said, I think the things that they showed us before were only the things they were confident would make it in 100%. So I'm sure we'll start to see more and more trickle out as time goes on. Speaking of surprises, severals jumped on Spectrum to respond to someone asking about the Prospector saddlebags, and had this to say: maybe we have this as a surprise in store. No promises yet, but we are trying to get it in. Cheers. And that'll do it for this episode of Shadow Patch Notes. So, were any of these changes news to you? And are you finally able to hop into 3.18 now? Leave a comment below and let me know. And if you're interested in the Drake Vulture giveaway, just be a subscriber here on YouTube and head on over to my Twitch channel, where you can find the link to enter. Twitch.tv/the5star. Alright everybody, I'll catch you on the flip flop. Peace out.